Okay, welcome to How to Paint Your Kitchen Cabinets with Shoreline Painting. And in our previous video, we actually talked about how to prep your cabinets for painting, how to cover your countertops and your floors, and how to make sure you're not going to get paint inside your cabinets. If you missed that video, you could check out the link above, and we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to teach you the techniques on spraying. In our previous videos, if you are looking back on, I've talked about in, I would say 2 out of our 4 videos on this clean shot. This is my new best friend. I love this piece of equipment, and I also talked about the spray tip, the 310 Graco Fine Finish, okay? This is gonna help you restrain your hand to not put too much paint. I would recommend this highly to the professionals as well. If you're a professional, you sprayed for years and you have no idea what this tool is, you cannot go wrong. It's about $130 on Amazon. You have to buy this tool. It is so perfect. Also, we're gonna make sure we practice what we preach. I'm not gonna wear my respirator for the sake of the video today, but I would usually wear a full-on respirator that is actually in our first video, tools for how to paint your kitchen cabinets. So make sure you have at least an N95 on. Don't do this thing where you wrap your head in a cloth or a bandana. Not a good idea, okay? Spend the $5 or $10 and get yourself a good N95 mask. Make sure you have proper tools, wear gloves, Tyvek pants, and if anyone is thinking, wow, that is a really clean shirt that might be brand new, you are 100% right. I just bought this today, so you get to see my crispy new polo get trashed as I paint. So it's going to happen. If you look at your sprayer in here, this groove actually represents your pattern. So you got to think your pattern is your hand inside of this groove. So if I do it this way, my pattern actually goes this direction, okay? If I turn my head, my pattern actually goes this direction now. So if I'm trying to spray on a vertical wall or a vertical panel, this is the best way to do it because I'm able to go up and down and I'm not frustrating myself with a left and right pattern, okay? So you just gotta know which way you want your gun turn and which way you want your pattern. I have my pattern pretty much set exactly how I want it. Make sure that your tip is not faced this way, okay? For the DIYers, I'm talking to you. Make sure your tip is not this way. This will shoot a stream at your cabinet. You wanna make sure you are flipped this direction to spray. If you are this way, again, I will reiterate, you will shoot a stream on your cabinet. It will not look good. You will be sanding that off. Make sure your tip is going this direction, okay? You can pretty much with this, start and stop in the middle. I don't suggest for you to do it, okay? I don't want you to do it, but if you have to, if you have a big panel or something like over here on the other side of the kitchen where it stretches 8 feet and you have to go in the middle, that's okay. But if at all possible, I want you to start and stop in clean areas, okay? Mask first. If you need to apply a little bit more paint on the inside, that's what this is good for, okay? I'm just gonna kind of dust my way through it. You wanna make sure that you're spraying in a consistent pattern. So you wanna start somewhere that's not your cabinet and you wanna finish pretty much on the floor. And the reason why you wanna do that is to make sure you have consistency in your pattern. So as you spray, if you're going up and down, you're gonna start here, finish here, come up here, finish here, you know, whichever way you're starting and stopping. You may find at the end, hey, I have the perfect amount of paint, okay? You may find, hey, you know what, it's a little bit shy here, maybe a little bit shy on these outside rims, because you're gonna be heaviest in the middle of your spray pattern. So in the industry, what we're calling it is dust coating. You go back and you check for areas that may be shy, might not have enough paint, and you dust coat. You lightly tap your trigger and you find the areas that you want to develop a little bit more. The only reason I can dust coat is because of this. If I didn't have this clean shot and I was trying to dust coat in the middle of my cabinet, you would get spits. And spits are large circumferences that as your sprayer goes to go close when you let go of your trigger, it's not fast enough, so it lets a little bit of paint out at the end and you can get drips from that. So this clean shot, this $130 tool really is super important to create a good finish on your cabinet. So because of the clean shot, I can check in the middle, look around, and still create a perfect finish. You heard me say that there's a perfect amount of paint to put on, and then there's not enough paint to put on. There's a very, very happy middle. You are looking for orange peel. I do not want to spray this and have it look like a piece of glass before I'm finished. That is telling me if it levels instantly before my eyes, I have too much paint. What I'm looking for is the little, not micro golf balls, but it looks like the skin of an orange. If it looks like the skin of an orange, stop. I want you to stop, because when it dries, it's gonna level perfectly. I don't want the bumps smaller than this. If the orange peel is smaller and it looks like little mini golf balls, you haven't put enough paint. That's not gonna level. It's gonna be a bad texture, okay? So as we proceed with the painting, just make sure you understand the technique is the biggest thing. I find that with my passes, and when I mean passes, I mean pulling the trigger, applying the paint and letting off. That's considered a pass when you do a full stroke of paint. I find if I go across it twice and then I do another half coat, so I'll explain the half coat here when I get to the top. You'll see I'll go over it twice and then I'll come back and I'll kind of do just a little, I'll pull my arm back just a little bit further and put a little bit less paint. Almost 2.5 coats is almost perfect 99% of the time, okay? Okay, watch the technique. I'm gonna start on the ceiling this time, okay? So that's one. Now, if you were to look at this, you can look right here and see these tight little circumferences. That's not enough paint. If you leave this, you will have a strange texture on your cabinets, okay? So that's my first pass. Here's my second. So now I have the perfect amount of paint going right here, but I don't have enough here. So now I'm gonna do my little half coat. I'm gonna inspect, and I'm absolutely happy. So, as you can see, I did my 2.5 coats here, maybe 3. I'm happy with the texture. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to rush your way through this process. I don't want you to go, wow, I did a couple, it looks perfect. Now I'm gonna go as fast as I can because I don't wanna be here right now. I want you to slow down and make sure that you spray these perfect. The doors are where you can go a little bit faster. These base cabinets, you have to slow down and take your time. Every move counts, okay? So if you go too fast, you're gonna find yourself getting drips here, drips down there, because you went too quick. You didn't manage yourself. If you don't manage yourself, you're gonna be sanding your cabinets a lot, okay? So I don't want you to think that just because I have this on my gun, I'm bulletproof. I still have to pay attention to what I'm doing and get my work light going, okay? So let's have a conversation about overspray. So in our videos, in our first video, in our tool video, and in our how to spray cabinet doors video, we talked about overspray in your room. Now, we have a negative pressure built, and I like to do this method particularly because it gets a little bit more power going. Some people like box fans. I personally like this method. You have to extract the overspray. And the reason why you want that is you don't want the falling of the overspray on maybe your finished doors, on all of the floors. You want to keep a perfect work environment if possible. You're not going to be 100%, but you're going to be as good as possible, okay? So there is a method to the madness for building a negative pressure to your kitchen if you're painting, or any spray job. Any spray job I do for any client, we make sure we have this negative pressure built in that room so that we're extracting any overspray. I mean, we're wearing our mask so it's not getting in our lungs, but it's just a work environment. It also helps your paint cure faster because you're extracting this out of the air. You're grabbing the fumes and the gases you're allowing your paint to cure a little bit quicker, okay? So I'll finish spraying the rest of our cabinets here to show you the final technique. But you get the idea. If you look, I actually went around the top of my cabinets first, and then I followed back and I went around my bottom, okay? Whenever you're spraying your kitchen, I would suggest to you to do all your upper cabinets first, and then spray all your lower cabinets second. The reason for that is you have to maneuver this around the kitchen, and this is your paint line. So if you paint your bottom cabinets first, you're gonna be fighting with that paint line. It's gonna be rubbing against your finished paint. There is a good way to do it, and then there's a frustrating way to do it. The good way to do it is do all your upper cabinets first and then finish on your lowers, okay? And that is the proper way, in my opinion, after 10 years of experience and painting a lot of kitchen cabinets, on the method to spray. I know there's going to be a lot of learning curves for you if you're new to this. The best way to do it is to slow down, use the proper tools, and practice. Practice, take your time. This may have taken me 3 minutes, maybe 5. Make sure it takes you 10. Slow down. It's okay. Just make sure that your coat is proper and know what you're looking for. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please hit that like button. And if you want future videos, please hit the subscribe button. And also in the comments, let us know if there's anything you want to see, how our company does cutting and rolling, how we mud, anything you want to see, let us know, and I'd love to make follow-up videos. Thanks again for watching.